My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Clouds are stirring up the sky. I was always in denial of what I saw right in front of me. And every time I'm so damn lost to what I loved and what I lost. But let's get lost in love.
So I don't normally do videos like this, but I did put some information on my community board about the FDR drive. I don't know exactly how to start it, so let's just start it just like that, okay? To give you a little background about the area that I'm somewhat familiar with, because I used to work down there, okay? So let's get started. On August 5th, I had a family gathering. We decided to pick up my mother-in-law. On our drive to the event, I pull out my phone to check out some of its features. While I was playing with the phone, I started recording. My husband, on the other hand, who was driving, saw traffic the direction we normally take. He decided to turn around and take the battery tunnel. The battery tunnel, which is now called UL Kerry Tunnel, it connects Brooklyn, which is the Red Hook neighborhood in Brooklyn, to lower part of Manhattan, which is the southern tip of Manhattan, New York City. It is the tunnel we decided to take during that drive because there were a lot of traffic that day. We don't normally take it because we had to pay a toll to go through it. That day, we took it because we had a long drive and we didn't want to stuck in traffic. And by the way, after 9/11 attack, the tunnel was closed completely because of its location close to World Trade Center.
Hear a second voice inside my head. It's telling me to say the night again and hold on to the words we always said would be forever, forever. Wait another day to clear my thoughts, so jump into a love that won't be forgotten forever.
Once we reached the lower Manhattan, we then proceed to the FDR drive. I believe it was in that moment I realized to continue recording our drive. I believe it was in that moment I realized to continue recording the drive through the FDR highway. I instantly remember the chase of Harry and Meghan, and TMZ video clip mentioned the highway.
To TMZ Live, Harvey Levin here.
Charles here.
So, Meghan and Harry had quite the night. It started out very glamorous with a lot of acclaim. Meghan got an award, and it was a very glitzy event. We'll get into that in a minute. But the headline turns out not to be what happened at the event, it's what happened after.
Right. As their spokesperson describes it, and as we have confirmed with independent sources, that there was a harrowing, in fact, they say near catastrophic 2-hour chase around New York City, paparazzi chasing them. And it all started right here. This is around 10 p.m. as they left the Ziegfeld Theater and they got into their SUV. Well, what happened once they got in that SUV is a chase that at times got up to speeds of 80 miles per hour And I know you may be thinking, where in New York City are you going to drive 80 miles per hour?
That would be the FDR.
The FDR drive on that at times got up to speeds of 80 miles per hour. And I know you may be thinking, where in New York City are you going to drive 80 miles per hour?
That would be the FDR.
The FDR drive on the east side of Manhattan. They were doing 80, trying to shake photographers who were chasing them.
And they were right on their tail.
Yeah, and they had, this was not just Harry and Meghan in their single SUV. They actually had an entourage that, it's clear that they anticipated some of this.
Clearly, they were in an SUV. There were two security SUVs that were tailing them, and then there was a fourth SUV that eventually was used to try and block traffic to thwart the paparazzi that were following them.
Right.
Now, they say that pedestrians were almost hit.
I mean, I guess, you know, she was leaving the ballroom, but they said that the paparazzi allegedly hit like 6-7 cars over there, and they said it was a big thing.
That's what we were told yesterday.
Cars were almost hit. A couple of police officers almost
were involved,
hit.
right?
So I know this sounds crazy, but we have confirmed, like Charles said, that this really did last 2 hours. So there were times when they went to various police stations trying to get some help.
Trying to get help or trying to
get
shake
cover.
the paparazzi. So the video we're about to show you, this is them almost an hour and a half after leaving the theater. They've been in this chase. They've been on the FDR going 80 miles per hour. And now they've gone back to a police precinct and they get into a yellow cab. They get out of their SUV. They get into a yellow cab.
And it's to shake the paparazzi. They're figuring nobody would think they'd get in the yellow cab. So they get in at the police station and drive away, and they're thinking we're going to shake the paparazzi.
But
that did not
clearly,
happen.
you can see the paparazzi knew they were there. That's their security guard who gets out of the front seat and is trying to get the photographers to back up.
I believe it was in that moment I realized to continue recording the drive through the FDR highway. I instantly remembered the chase of Harry and Meghan, so I proceeded to record the drive. The video might look a bit shaky because it wasn't planned at all. Since we were driving there and I wanted to test my new phone camera, I thought of some of the squad who are not in the US or never seen the highway. To give you an idea how Manhattan, New York City traffic sort of design. On the east, you have the FDR highway. On the west, you have the West Side Highway. I don't know if they changed the name, but that's what I know the name of the highway is. Within the city, or between both highways, you have local streets. This is where there is a lot of traffic.
Hear a second voice inside my head. It's telling me to say the night again and hold on to the words we always said would be forever, forever. Wait another day to clear my thoughts, so jump into a life that won't be.
Okay, so here is the drive from the FDR, the same highway that Harry and Meghan security drove through and trying to lose the paparazzi. The only thing I'm not sure of is at what point did Harry and Meghan security got on the highway and at what point they got off the highway. We might have an idea because I think they said something in some video clips. There were 96th Street kind of thing where they exit or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm not sure where they truly got off. What I have here, the clip that I have, is my drive from the very beginning of the highway through the end of it, and we connect to another highway to continue our journey. Sorry if the video is a bit shaky, but it wasn't planned. Alright, I hope I explained this to you, and you could go on Google Map and to look at some of the things that I've said. There's usually pictures online of it. Okay, so here is the drive. And by the way, when I was recording, when we sort of stop in traffic or whatever, I pause. So I didn't want to keep on pointing the camera to drivers next to us or things like that. So I pause. So yeah. Okay, so here's the video. say there was a fire or something? I don't feel it did.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.
Wow, paparazzi crazy like that, chasing people because you see so many people. You don't really have that, here. But
y'all losing y'all damn mind over Meghan Markle. Come on, stop.
Well, they allegedly said it was no actual collision, so I don't know if they meant hit, resulting in an injury or accident or what.
These were parked cars.
Parked cars.
Yeah, these were
parked cars.
Yeah. Security told us that yesterday. Security literally told us yesterday. Meghan Markle was at the ballroom or whatever last night.
Ballroom,
and paparazzi kept going around in circles just to get a picture of her, and they was hitting parked cars.
Yeah.
I heard that before I even heard from the mayor.
Okay.
The way I saw them follow the car, I wasn't surprised by the headlines. They actually went in from the side entrance. They didn't come in from the front red carpet entrance. Me and a couple other supporters ran to the back to kind of catch them walking in because we saw all the paparazzi running to the back suddenly. And it became pretty aggressive. The paparazzi had access to the garage from where they were entering, and they were being kind of manhandled by the bodyguards to prevent them from getting too close to the Sussexes. And the entire time, a lot of the paparazzi were heckling Meghan and Harry and making just negative comments, trying to get a reaction out of them. As they were leaving, just the way they chased the car, it just reminds you of like all the other scenes you've seen in the past with Prince Harry's mother. And it was just really upsetting. If it was triggering for me, I can't even imagine how it must have felt for them.
Story. The Daily Mail and the Express took those photos down.
To TMZ Live, Harvey Levin here.
Charles here.
So Meghan and Harry had quite the night. It started out very glamorous with a lot of acclaim. Meghan got an award, and it was a very glitzy event. We'll get into that in a minute. But the headline turns out not to be what happened at the event. It's what happened after.
Right. As their spokesperson describes it, and as we have confirmed with independent sources, that there was a harrowing, in fact, they say near catastrophic 2-hour chase around New York City, paparazzi chasing them. And it all started right here. This is around 10 p.m. as they left the Ziegfeld Theater and they got into their SUV. Well, what happened once they got in that SUV is a chase that at times got up to speeds of 80 miles per hour. And I know you may be thinking, where in New York City are you going to drive 80 miles per hour?
That would be the FDR.
The FDR Drive on the east side of Manhattan. They were doing 80, trying to shake photographers who were chasing them.
And they were right on their tail.
Yeah.